Today we're going to be looking at LinkedIn's. Let's see how many they have. As always, this is step by step. I'm going to show you guys how you guys can go about doing this on your own, so you guys can use the same technique to analyze other companies' design patent portfolios. And again, I highly encourage you guys to do this, especially if you guys are in the software space. It's worth doing a little research, not just to see how how other big software companies do it, but it also might give you some creative ideas, inspire you to pursue more creative strategies for protecting your software. Let me go ahead and start off by sharing my screen here. I want to show you guys. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to uspto.gov, and then we're going to do a search. So we're going to go to patents, patents home, and then search patents. So we're going to search patents, and we're going to do full text patents. So these are issued patents as opposed to published patent applications. And then I'm going to click advanced search. So here I'm going to type in the assignee. In this case is LinkedIn and corporation. And then we're going to do design patents. So we're going to look at APT4. Now, if you don't know the design code, it's really simple. Just scroll down. If you click on the APT code, that's the application type, and it'll tell you right away for design patents. So I'm going to click back, go ahead and click a search, and we'll see what results. So we have 13. So it looks like they have 13 design patents. So let's check them out. Let's dive in here. Let's see what we find. So we're going to start with their earlier design patents. Now, one thing to keep in mind, remember, these are design patents. So what they're going to be covering is the look of usually a GUI. So it's going to GUI because it's a software company, right? So here we have, looks like it's on an iPad. Remember, this is the old gen iPad. So this patent issued in 2016. So this is before they went to their Face ID. So just keep that in mind. But let's scroll down here. So remember, dashed broken lines form no part of the claim design. So what they're claiming here is basically this primary panel here. It looks like if we scroll down, it's the way it shows up on an iPad. And again, it's the solid lines that define what it is they're claiming as a feature of their mark. So this looks like a GUI purely for a tablet for your classic iPad. And interestingly, they're claiming both the portrait and landscape front views of the GUI, of the user interface. So it's interesting. So this is, of course, portrait, and then this is landscape. So let's check out some of the other design patents here. Let's check out this one. Dive in here. Let's see what we find. We're going to click full pages so we can see all of it. Okay. So this looks like their icons. We're looking at LinkedIn Corporation. Okay, so these are icons. It looks like. Let's see how they describe this. This is kind of interesting. Let's see what A and B mean. Let's see if they tell us up top. A, B, C. Let's do a little reading here. See what we figure out. Oh, I see. So they're showing in a zoomed in version of it. That's what the A, B, and C mean. So figure 2. So A. So this is a zoomed in version. So it looks like they're claiming they almost look like icons. So this is a GUI. And again, they're doing portrait and landscape. Cool way, if you guys are putting software out there and you guys have some distinctive icons, you might consider protecting them with a design patent like they've done here in this particular one. Let's look at this application, just check it out. Again, 2016. It looks like, again, they're going to be doing the portrait and landscape modes. Portrait and landscape. Okay, this looks a little more familiar. So it looks like in this, okay. So this looks almost like the side message box that LinkedIn has. Save as lead. Okay. So now we're getting more into the details of how the actual profiles are presented on LinkedIn, on their interface. Now, one cool thing is also just to see how things change over time. You might notice this is 2016, but LinkedIn 2016 is going to look very different from LinkedIn 2020. So you got to keep that in mind as you're looking at design patents. But again, really, really cool way to see how products change, how they grow, how they develop. It's another way of almost keeping historical records of a company and of their applications. We saw that especially with Facebook when we looked at Facebook's design patents a couple episodes ago. Now let's scroll down. Okay, so this looks like mobile, and again, this is the icon. Okay, again, you could protect your design for your icon in this fashion using design patents. So again, they show it on mobile and tablets. It looks like they're showing it both in portrait and landscape again. Now let's click back. Let's see what else. So we've already seen some interesting. So they actually protected a series of icons, and then they protected their single LinkedIn icon that appeared both in the mobile and tablet version. Let's check out this design patent here. And again, we're looking at LinkedIn design patents. Okay, so this looks a little familiar. Okay, so the prior application was protecting the lower section down below right here, and now we see we're protecting up here. So this shows the connection link between various users of LinkedIn. So if you're second, third degree free of separation between you and others. So again, this is what they're trying to protect here in this design, in this particular design patent. And again, they're doing portrait and landscape views for this particular application. Now, one thing that I'm noticing a trend. Probably it's because these applications were done by the same law firm, and so they adopt the same style. Okay, interesting. So this one looks like we're going to also see portrait and landscape, I'm guessing. And then, okay, so this is showing the relationship area. So that's what they're trying to protect in this design patent. Remember, dashed lines, broken lines, these are not claimed as parts of the actual design patent. But this right here, this is being claimed as their unique and ornamental design. So keep that in mind. Any broken lines are not going to be part of the claimed design because this is a design patent. So again, pretty interesting, showing the length, how you're possibly grouped. Let's see what other interesting GUI designs that LinkedIn thought worthwhile protecting. Now remember, each of these design patents is costly, and so the fact that they're taking energy, spending resources on actually protecting them is insightful in itself. So keep that in mind. These designs are obviously important enough for LinkedIn to decide, oh, hey, we should file a design patent on it. Okay, so this application also is protecting the side, showing the connection between other users. So how you're linked to other users. And again, the areas that are dashed lines, broken lines, those are not claimed as features of the mark. So that's how I know that. So again, this upper right panel here is what's being protected. And interestingly, they use dashed lines, of course, for the faces because they're not claiming faces as being distinctive. But the orientation of the circles, of the solid circles in relation to other solid circles, that is what they're claiming is unique and distinctive to this particular GUI. So pretty cool. Let's see what other interesting design patents they have. Again, for those of you that are just tuning in, we're just looking at LinkedIn design patents. And the reason why we care about design patents is because they're another creative way for companies that develop and put out software to protect their intellectual property using design patents and by protecting the visual aspects of their GUI. So pretty neat. This one looks like it's the profile. It looks like it's the profile page that we're now looking at. So this is a picture of the profile. I believe some people call them avatars, but it's just a little representation image of the person. So this is what they're protecting in this particular design patent application. So far we've seen all kinds of things. We've seen icons. We've seen GUI like orientation panel boxes. We've also seen getting some strange error. Let's check out this one. So again, this looks like it's protecting various icons along the LinkedIn page. So as you can see, okay, so these look like icons to me, the quote, the buildings. So it looks like they also use design patents to protect their various icons. We saw these actually earlier in that very first application. They were just oriented differently. This is obviously issued in 2017. So again, as their layout changes, as their display changes, they are more prone to file updated applications that try to protect the newer versions of their application platform. Now, what's interesting also is that you'll notice the devices are going to change too. So possibly if we go down future in time, we might see some iPads that don't have the Touch ID. 2017 still, okay. Okay, so this also looks like they're claiming these actual icons. Again, these are similar to the ones that we saw before. Distinctive design, ornamental features of your GUI, possible to protect them using design patents. And again, design patents are great because they tend to be cheaper, quicker, and easier to get than utility patents. So it's important to at least consider it, evaluate it. Again, this is the last one as far as I can see, and this looks like this is the panel. So the solid lines are what they're protecting. So this solid line outside and this line extends down the middle, and then there's also these lines here, vertical lines. And this is a more zoomed in version of it. So those are design patents. It looks like there were 11 issued design patents to LinkedIn. Super interesting, really, really cool way to explore a company's portfolio is looking at what design patents they have. So LinkedIn also has a lot of utility patents. Possibly we can start looking into those in future episodes. But in case you guys are curious, we can do just a quick search. Let's say utility. Let's look for only utility patents. Let's see how many we find. I'm guessing it's going to be several hundred. Okay, 371. Yeah, and again, we'll do some deep dives into patents in future episodes. I just wanted to give you guys some context. So you see about 11 design patents, give or take, and then obviously 371 utility patents. So again, utility patents, a lot more valuable, a lot more protection, but more expensive, more difficult to get, more work involved. Important consideration, but again, if you're a startup and you have a really, really cool, distinctive GUI, consider also filing a design patent to protect your novel design. So this is episode number 86. So thank you so much for watching.